Timothy Marshall here, Chief Power Officer with Modern Atomics. We're going to take a moment to talk about Reaktor. First things we want to talk about are the motor ports. We're going to look at all the ports on the device. So here on the back, we have 14 motor ports. These have a terminal block with a 5.08 pitch. These are meant for your larger SDN motors. These can actually accommodate up to a 12 gauge wire. On the front, we have 8 motor ports. These motor ports are for your ST30, ST40, your smaller motors, some of which actually come with an RJ45 termination already on them. On the other side here, we've got 6 of these ports. These are device ports. These can be used for any of the SDN devices, whether they're keypads, receivers, RF transceivers, all for control of the system. Now here at the top, we have, this is our bus in. This is where we connect so that we can do power or energy harvesting as needed. Here at the bottom, this is our SDN bus out. This allows us to expand the system, whether you need a larger system or just for integration. On the front, we have 4 keys. We have the reset key, which allows you to reset the unit, power it on or power it off. We have the eco mode key, which lets you put it in or take it out of eco mode. We also have an up and a down button that can be used for motor movements or programming. The LEDs on the front, we have the ESM LED, which indicates the status of the ESM. We have the eco mode LED, which lets you know whether the eco mode is on or off. We have the status and the programming LEDs that show you the status in user and in programming modes. On the bus end, we have a green LED that indicates power. We have a yellow LED that indicates bus data. On the bottom, we have a green that indicates the data connection and a yellow that indicates the end of line function. Now, the ammeter on the front, if the LED is backlit, this shows you that there are power to the motor ports. And the needle on the ammeter will actually indicate the amount of current being drawn. So on the bottom of the unit, we've added as much information as we could. So here we've got the wiring diagrams and pinouts of the terminal blocks. We've got the wiring diagrams and pinouts of the RJ45. We've got some programming instructions. We've got the LED key, which shows the status of the LEDs, what they mean. Over here we have the key button, which shows programming functions. We also have a QR code if a manual is needed. And because the mounting holes are symmetrical, you can use either the DIN rail or the rack gear in any configuration. It can be mounted front rack, it can be mounted for a ceiling or wall mount on the front, the middle, the back. Now, I have 3 motors connected to my reactor, so we're going to just talk about the up and down functions. So by default, when the unit is on, the keys are locked, and that's to prevent any unintentional movements. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to unlock the keys, and you can see the amber LED at the bottom. Now, if I hit the up button, I can send my shades up. I can press both buttons to stop it, and I can also send it back down. Now we're going to show some programming functions. I've got 3 motors already connected to my reactor. So now I'm going to add an out-of-the-box SDN keypad. So now that we've got our keypad and motors connected, we are going to move to the programming functions. So now I'm going to press and hold the up and the eco mode button until the programming button starts to flash. Okay. Now, this is the programming mode. Okay, and now that we can see that the programming is ready when the motors begin to jog. There you go. We are now ready to perform some programming functions. So what we're going to do here is we're going to create a group. We're going to create one group that contains all 3 motors. So to do this, we select a channel on our keypad. I've selected group 1, and we're going to press the stop button. The stop is what creates the group on the reactor. Okay, we know that we're ready for programming when the motors resume jogging. Now, to bind that created group to our keypad, we select the group that we want, and we press the up button on the keypad that we want to assign to that group. Now that the group has been created, we can test the keypad in programming mode, or we can exit programming mode and use the group that we've created. To test it, we press the stop button twice, and the motor jogging will slow down but not stop. We can now test that group's channel. So we'll move the motors up, we can stop them, and we can move them down. That's how you create a motor group with the reactor. Okay, so we've talked about the basic functions and features of the reactor. We've connected 3 motors and a single SDN keypad. We've created one group, and as you can see, the motors are still in programming mode. Now, the only thing that we haven't talked about is power. Okay, so, if needed, power can be done with an SDN power supply, can be also done with the included PoE injector. And what we do is we connect that to the bus in for power.